Have you ever went to a movie theater and it is so bad? Or there is a local movie theater that everyone knows is bad. That is what we are going to talk about today. How to tell your English-speaking friends about the worst movie theaters in Osaka.
今日のエピソードでは Google 翻訳で日本語から英語へ翻訳を行った場合の翻訳の間違いを訂正していきます。これらは Google 翻訳を使用する日本人による実際のオンライン上の実例です。英語力を向上させるためにこれらの間違いをどのように修正するかをぜひ今日聞いてください。
Alright everybody, thank you for that awesome intro, Soda. Welcome back to the Social English Podcast. I am your host, Percy, and this is the podcast to get better at conversational social English. Actual English used, modern day social English in conversations, social English, social conversations, social situations, every single day. Now, today, we will have another Google Translate mistakes episodes. And I promise today's episode is going to be interesting. Let's look at the mistakes that Google has made in translation, changing Japanese to English. Okay, today we get to go to one of the worst movie theaters in Osaka. You want to tell everyone about this theater. The problem is that Google Translate has changed your words, so now they sound strange or very funny to a native English speaker. Okay. Why does Japanese come out wrong in English sometimes with Google Translate? The reason is because Google Translate uses AI to translate Japanese into English. This is why there are mistakes. So, today, let's fix those mistakes. As with every Google Translate mistakes episode, we will have 4 parts. In part 1, I will read exactly what Google Translate said in the wrong English. In part 2, I will say the correct English in a conversational, social English style. In part 3, I will give you any hints that I think are important so that you don't make these same mistakes. In part 4, I will say the corrected English version in a fast, natural speed. This way, you can also practice listening to normal speed English from a native English speaker. Special advice. If you are a beginner, please focus on the slow speeds and please try to translate later. If you are at a medium to high level, please focus on the social English that I use in the translation. You need to understand this is modern North American conversational English for social situations, not at school, not for business, but in real live, everyday social situations, okay? It's a little bit more personal and natural English to help create fun conversations. Okay, now let's get started with part 1. Here we go. Let's kick off part 1, the Japanese person's wrong translation into English. Let's check it out. There are 4 sentences. Please listen carefully. Kite kudasai. 1. A historic movie theater with a retro Showa era appearance. The astringent hand-painted signboard gives a good taste. That's 2. 3. And people with a lot of individuality come and go. 4. When you go down the stairs, there is a different dimension space. Okay, my listeners that are intermediate or advanced, high level, what would you change? My question to you, what would you change? I want you to think about that. What would you change? Let's listen, or please listen one more time. Here it is with just the English only. A historic movie theater with a retro Showa era appearance. The astringent hand-painted signboard gives a good taste. And people with a lot of individuality come and go. When you go down the stairs, there is a different dimension space. Okay, so now that you've heard it again, what would you change? Okay, so now let's move on to part 2. In part 2, you are going to hear the correct English version at a slow speed. So this is the correct English. There are 4 sentences. Please listen. Number 1, this is a historic movie theater with a retro Showa era look. 2, the authentic hand-painted signboard is visually appealing. 3, the people that usually come here are very unique. 4, also, the downstairs section has a completely different design from the other parts of the theater. Okay, so let's do that again, just the English only. And for you advanced and intermediate level English speakers, listen to how the English is said and listen to the words that are chosen, the words I used together. Okay? One more time, just the English only. This is a historic movie theater with a retro Showa era look. The authentic hand-painted signboard is visually appealing. The people that usually come here are very unique. Also, the downstairs section has a completely different design from the other parts of the theater. Welcome to part 3. In part 3, you will get my tips and my advice on learning how to spot the mistakes in each specific episode. So for now, let's look at this original English. Hint 1. You don't need to use astringent in normal English conversation. To use the word astringent in the sentence, the astringent hand-painted signboard, that just doesn't make any sense. It is confusing, and the English listener that you are speaking to will not understand what you are saying. So please don't use astringent. Just remove that. Hint 2. Instead of the phrase, a lot of individuality, when we say, or when the original English said, and people with a lot of individuality come and go. Don't use a lot of individuality. I cannot think of many sentences, and it does not work and sound strange in this sentence. You can just say unique people. This is much clearer by saying these people are unique. The adjective unique clearly states what type of people they are, and it is very easy to use for the English speaker. The third advice, in the phrase a different dimension space, the speaker sounds like they are talking about something strange, or supernatural, or a movie. Something very not normal, not in normal, natural human life. Instead, use the phrase completely different design. Just getting a little drink of coffee real quick. Sorry about that, but use the phrase completely different design. This is much better. Okay, and in the last part 4, I will get to that soon. Okay, so let's move on to our last part for today's Google Translate Mistakes episode. Okay, talking about our worst movie theaters in Osaka. Okay, today, let's go over the fast English part, number 4. Please, intermediate and advanced high-level English listeners, please listen to how I speak. Listen to my tonality. Okay? Listen to my inflection, my tonality. Beginners, starting beginning English, listen to my speed and try to hear my words. Try to understand the words that I used in the slow speed version. Okay? Okay. So, let's get started with part 4. This is a historic movie theater with a retro Showa-era look. The authentic hand-painted signboard is visually appealing. The people that usually come here are very unique. Also, the downstairs section has a completely different design from the other parts of the theater. Okay, let's listen to that one more time. Fast speed English. Please listen to see if you can hear the words. Listen to my inflection. Listen to my voice. This is a historic movie theater with a retro Showa-era look. The authentic hand-painted signboard is visually appealing. The people that usually come here are very unique. Also, the downstairs section has a completely different design from the other parts of the theater.
このショーを気に入っていただけたら、5つ星のレビューをぜひお願いします。コメントは英語か日本語でお書きいただければ喜んで読ませていただきます。リアルソーシャルイングリッシュ .com にアクセスしてぜひ無料でダウンロードしてください。ほとんどの日本人の英語を勉強している人がやってしまいがちな7つの間違いとその正しい言い方。また、毎日英語を上達させるのに役立つ資料もたくさんあります。Apple Podcast、Google Podcast、Stitcher、そして今はパンドラでもポッドキャストを購読いただきます。支援者になっていただけませんか？私たちがこのショーを作るための支援として5ドルの寄付をお願いできませんか？今後のエピソードで感謝の気持ちをお伝えします。また、そこでしか利用できない新しいコンテンツも入手できます。patreon.com/socialenglish からご参加ください。ソーシャルメディアで私たちのポッドキャストを友達にシェアしたり、Twitter、Facebook、Instagram のフォローをお願いします。
And there you have it. How to discuss with your native English or English-speaking friends what the worst movie theater is in Osaka. If you listened to the podcast today, there were some interesting words used to describe this theater. If you live in Osaka, maybe you know what movie theater this is. Okay, so with that being said, like every single episode, I really want you to enjoy this, and I am really happy and glad that I can make this for you. I really enjoy it. So please listen. Please subscribe and rate this podcast so that more listeners can hear it and enjoy it just like you. I hope you have a great day today, or a great evening. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode. Peace and love.
今日は楽しい時間をありがとうございました。ぜひ私たちのウェブサイト realsocialenglish.com を訪問して日本語訳と役立つ情報を手に入れてください。また次回お会いしましょう。バイバイ。See you next time. Bye bye.